Welcome back to an episode of the PokeStop Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Pro. As always, joined by my amazing co-host, Thad Wayand. Thad, I haven't seen you in like a year. Are you still breathing? Do you still have two arms, 2 legs, 10 fingers, 10 toes?
Ooh, I actually added an 11th toe.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's good. That's good stability, you know?
You don't even want to know why.
I mean, if you're doing work around the house, you know, you're like standing on a ladder, you might want to have like 6 toes on one foot if you got to like lean over and like, you know, do some work on the walls or something. I think that's a W upgrade in the chat, as they say.
I mean, body mod city, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we haven't done a podcast. I'm good, man. I'm tired though. I'm just tired today. We haven't done a podcast in like a few weeks. We pretty much had like all the Christmas, New Year's, all that kind of stuff going on. You work retail, so that makes life super fun in that time of the year. So like, I'm sure you are readily available at any time, and it was entirely my fault. Now we just like, I don't know. I'm pretty busy. You're pretty busy, especially in like late December, and there's just like not a lot of Pokemon happening. I mean, there's no majors. There's usually no real news that comes out. So we were just kind of like, let's just take a few weeks. Like, it's fine. You know.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's been the vibe. So
yeah, I think a lot of the other podcasts were in the same boat too. So I don't think we're like, I don't know, weird in that way for having that take.
Nah, I don't believe so.
Yeah, you've been playing. You played a little bit of in the GLC webcam tournaments I've been seeing on Limitless too. How's that been for you?
One was really good. One was really bad.
As GLC goes.
Yeah, it's just hot and cold. You know, I've been playing a lot of orange, so a lot of fighting going on.
Yeah.
It's been sort of like my bread and like a little bit of like my bread and butter. I feel like 9 times out of 10, I'm playing the game. You can't beat a draw engine like Solrock Lunatone. It's just so good,
especially in that format. Like, right, like it's super good in standard, and then you put it in a format where things are a lot less consistent and a lot more like action dependent and like a lot more setup dependent. So like I think it helps really smooth out a lot of those games. Yeah, where you're able to just see a few more cards.
Yeah, like the style of deck that it is, it's just a big basic with like one stage 2 line, and like you can slowly set the stage 2 line up over the course of the game, and you're not really missing much.
Yeah.
It's not like a couple other colors that like really depend on like the stage 2 setup. Ooh, my light is not on. I just not realized. So while I'm talking, I'll turn that on. There we go. Like a lot of other colors depend on their stage 2s to get into the game, to play the game, to do anything. You have like water with Inteleon, you have psychic with the Guardian, the Gallade. So like it's nice to have it as a support option, but it's not necessary. I can get through most games without even putting the Nacli down, and it's whatever. I don't need Garganacl. But when I do set it up, it's so sick because like it has like the attach energy from discard, heal 30, or attach energy from hand. Is it hand? Might be from discard, actually. Let me double check.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's from discard. Feels better, honestly.
Yeah, it is from discard. So you attach energy from discard. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. I'll put it on the screen during post here, but it's the energizing rock salt Garganacl. So you just get to like heal 30 plus attach from the discard, which like synergizes with the Solrock Lunatone concept where you're already discarding energy to draw cards.
Sure.
So it just gets you that +1 energy attached for turn, and it's just good. It smooths out your mid game. Worked really well in the Turbo Blaze tournament. Did not work at all during the Carver Warriors tournament. The difference being I played against nothing but water in the Turbo Blaze one, which is really good, which is really hard for water to overcome an Okidogi.
Sure.
Like especially early. And so I just like almost swept that. And then the Carver Warriors tournament, I played against nothing but Psychic.
Yeah.
And it turns out you cannot put Okidogi down against Psychic because anything knocks it out. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Psychic is definitely really rough for fighting, and I just don't know if there's enough grass weak attackers to like make that not bad.
Not until you get the dinosaur that's coming out in perfect order, but
Yeah, that Tyrantrum actually looks really good.
a 330 HP is just so good, and it's
That's
weak
so
to
good in that
grass,
format.
which is
Like, it's insane. Yeah, and you have a very good weakness as opposed to like a lot of the attackers now in the RDT where it's just like you're weak to psychic, so you just like kind of fold to the purple, unfortunately, and that's unfortunately a lot of people playing purple. I think pretty much because you beat fighting, and it's also a very good archetype.
I mean it's hard because like purple plays bench barrier, they play monkey dory, so like your
they
spread
have so much
options
stuff.
really even aren't.
Yeah, some of them are playing Dust Nors now. Like, there's just so much. That new Zacian, I think, is also really good. The Limit Break Zacian is so strong.
It's so broken. So yeah, it's just like it's hard to get anything
It
going
just has
against
so
Psychic.
many options and tools and things. Like, it's so good.
Yeah. So I mean that's my new pet project right now, is to make fighting very strong into Psychic going into the next 3K.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, that's my GLC journey. That's what I've been doing the last few weeks.
Very cool. You know, the last few weeks I've been trying to get into Toronto.
Ooh, yeah.
Did not go well.
I don't need this for a minute.
So I did try to get into Wave 3 of Toronto, and you know, before the comment section gets at me, you know, because I did the things. All right, I had the atomic clock, I had the monitor. I turned one of my monitors vertical, so I could see the entire RK9 screen. I clicked register at 7:00 and literally 1 second. Like, it was click 3 boxes, click register, right at like the exact perfect moment, and I did not get in. And honestly, it man, that sent me for a tailspin. I was literally just pacing up and down the hallway in my house, just screaming. And like, man, thank God my wife wasn't home, or she genuinely might have thought I was having like a heart attack. Like, I was just like, every word in the book, I was throwing shit. I was genuinely furious because like I feel like I've been playing very good Pokemon lately. And just like not being able to go to a tournament, not because of any restrictions I have or any financial limitations or anything like that, but only because the TO sucks, is so infuriating to me. Like, the point of a TO for these events is to make the events better, not worse. And like, I don't know anyone. I genuinely would love to have someone on this podcast who would say Gaming Gen has made events better. In the, you know, compare it to 2 years ago. Before Gaming Gen, before the 2024 season, like I would love to have that conversation with anyone. I actually tweeted at Gaming Gen directly, saying if anyone wants to come on the podcast, there's an open invitation to any Gaming Gen employee or representative who wants to come on and, you know, break this down for me. Because, you know, for me, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5. You know, I've ranted enough on this podcast about how much I hate Gaming Gen. So like, it just feels like at this point, it just feels like we're beating that dead horse. And like, I've got the horse in the corner. There's like a closet right off screen. I can open the door. He'll fall out. We can start beating it again, you know, anytime we need to. But you know, it sucks, you know, gaming. And I know like, I've had some people like say to me like on like Twitter and like in DMs and stuff who are like, oh, you're like the only person I know who didn't get in. I was like, that's because I'm the only one saying something. Like, I know personally in my area, I know at least 3 people who tried to get on wave 3 and did not get in. And like tried every wave and just did not get in. So I'm like, this is on like, it's just not acceptable. Like the growth curve of the game and the growth curve of a regional capacity is just not growing at the same pace. And
no,
you know, there's not enough people. It's not, no one's willing to pay money. Like, we've increased rent, we've increased registration fees, and stuff is still gone, and you know, and attendance is still through the roof and still selling out. So like, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just them being cheap and wanting to min-max as much money as they humanly possibly can. And like, I don't know, maybe that's just what it is. And then there's like, the last thing I'll say on this, there have been a lot of people who are on like Twitter and stuff and being like, well, like Pokemon is like their events are run way better than like Riftbound or One Piece. And I'm like, okay. You know what the difference is between Pokemon and One Piece? One of them is a niche IP, and one of them is literally like on the Mount Rushmore of IP. Like, you can't, I dare you to find a person on the planet, like, in a country where you can buy Pokemon cards that does not know what you say Pokemon, and they don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Like, yeah, like, we are past the point of like, you know, like boomers and like old people not knowing.
Yeah, everyone can identify a Pokemon, or you can show a picture of Pikachu to literally anybody, and they're like, "Oh, that's a Pikachu."
Yeah, and like just to hammer the point home here, Pokemon since 1996 has made $115 billion. The IP Mickey Mouse, which has been around since 1928, has made $61 billion.
That's so crazy.
Like, we are lapping Mickey Mouse.
That's insane.
We've lapped Star Wars twice. We've lapped the Marvel Cinematic Universe almost 4 times. Like, it's just like there's no comparison. Like, comparing the two is we aren't comparing apples and oranges. We're comparing an apple and every orange in existence. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me. But that's fine. Everything's fine. More. Yeah. Like, and I've had people tell me, like, I never let Thad talk. And like, I tell Thad every time, like, just jump in. If you want to say something, just feel more than free. But it's like, I don't know. Like, and feel free to talk talk to yourself on this one. But like, I just feel like we don't disagree on most of the things when you just let me go.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just don't have anything different than what you're gonna say, right? Like, I also agree gaming gen is kind of ass, and like they're kind of low key and insufferable when it comes to working in this Pokemon space. And like, we had better TOs. I'll throw out like day 2 events was probably one of the better ones. You know, like a lot of people's gripes with those like TOs, like what was it, Overload?
Yeah.
Yeah, Overload in take 2, or is it day 2?
Day 2.
It was day 2, right? Yeah. Yeah, day 2 events, like their issues are the same with every TO, and it's, oh well, the side event is in this, and I'm like, who cares? I'm not there for side events, brother. Like,
yeah,
I'm not there for the Plinko games. Like, sure, those are a ripoff.
Pokeplinko, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, they all suck, but like, here's the thing: if I O2 scrub, you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna be staying in that venue any longer than I need to.
Yeah, yeah. I think most people, like, even if I'm waiting for like a friend in day 2 and I didn't make day 2, I'm probably not playing in side events. Genuinely. And it's also like
I'll
run more side events then. Like,
yeah.
That's how you make the money. I think that's like a very publicly known thing. Like, there's a reason when like day 2 and Overload ran events, they spammed the side event button. Like, that's how you make money. So like,
and then it just went into making the main event better.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because then like, I knew a lot of professors who like started in the side event world, right? They started doing like the pods, and that's how like they got, you know, more experience at like the regional level, and then moved into being like a main event judge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on this whole like, it's just like the whole, like, let's give gaming gen time to cook.
They've had time. I mean, clock's up, you know.
Yeah, I can't. I didn't even try for round 3 because I'm like, the odds of both of us getting it are super low.
Yeah.
And if I get it and you don't, I'm not going. So like,
yeah.
So it just didn't make sense for me to even try, because I'm like, if you get it, you could probably find a group pretty quick.
Yeah, because like I had a
But I
hotel
found,
reserved for the event, and I was just like, okay, we're good. Like I don't care.
yeah. So like for me, it was like, I'm only going if you're going, and if I get
Yeah,
in and you don't, then like it's just a colossal waste of my time.
yeah,
So like, and you wanted the spot way more than I did. I'm like not interested in standard, so
yeah. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon lately, and like I just feel like I'm just in a really like I feel like I've been playing really well. Like the mistakes I'm making are pretty minor, for the most part. And I was like, I was fully ready to like once I got in here, just like to lock myself in a room and just like hammer everything out to like just play Goldengo at like as high of a level as I can.
yeah. I mean, like your 60 has been pretty proven. I think that it's the best version of the 60. I think we're like one card off. If I recall correctly, I think you're on 2 Turo still.
I am, yeah. Which is
I think
also
that's our only difference.
an interesting like consideration if you cut a Turo. Because like I feel like you were only playing 2 Turo for like the retreat lock stuff, and I feel like retreat lock has kind of fallen to the wayside and in more favor of like the Kangaskhan Crustle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get to that later. We're gonna talk about some Toronto stuff later in the podcast. But first, we did have some new rules kind of get announced by Pokemon. I guess not new rules, but more like clarifications of rules. I don't think at the time we're actually recording this, it's really weird. So like on January 6th, they posted a tweet with a link, but that link does not have any information. Like it's a link to a link that has all the links, which is the most Pokemon thing to do, honestly.
Yep.
I don't think we've actually gotten any information, but from what they said in their summary of the changes, especially just for like TCG, they reinstated the turn tracker section, clarified end of round processes, including the +1 turn, and added a new line item to the tempo of play table for deck search, for your first deck search, which I think is needed. I think we do need we need to have some more clarification on the +1. I think for +1, the turn should start after the player of the previous turn attacks. Like once you announce the attack, I think that should end their turn and begin your turn in that scenario. I've seen too many times in like cups and in various events where like we're nearing the end of time. It's like Dragapult, Grimmsnarl, Guardy, some deck that attacks just have a lot of actions, have like a lot of like physical like moving dice around and stuff, where like that takes like 15-20 seconds, and then the time gets called before that player draws the card, and then out of no fault of their own, the previous player just gets absolutely like screwed out of a turn, and then maybe they make a different attack, right? Maybe they like they play for the tie instead of playing for the win.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's nonsense.
When we were talking before the podcast, I did not want to bring this up, but I did do a little bit of research on this because I figured this would come up. In you when it comes to end of turn stuff, right? After you announce an attack, there are 2 main actions that happen after that, which is why traditionally you start your turn when you draw for turn. Because after an attack is announced, you check the board for end of turn effects.
Yeah,
So things
price.
like, well, you check for things like Hex Maniac. So you would check for things like that would resolve at the end of a turn, right? Like if I played Hex during my turn, you play out your turn, but time gets called. Like let's say Hex is in format, right? At the end of your turn, Hex resolves, and if you had a card like a Wishy-Washy active, right, then, or if I had a Wishy-Washy active that like has a scatter effect, right, then that effect would determine like what happens with that Wishy-Washy, which would determine
Yeah.
what I had to push up before my turn even begins. So I get why the +1 turn exist, like why like when your turn ends, it's not really your turn ending, because then after all that, then you check for prize cards, right? Like it's a little bit goofy, but like at one point in time when there were things like expanded events, it did make sense to have, and that's just like kind of a remnant of expanded.
Yeah.
So like there's like hidden mechanics after you announce an attack, which is really annoying because like there have not been cards printed that interact with the end of turn. I think there's like that, maybe that Flygon that we got.
Yeah, there's like,
Maybe
for the
is
most
that
part,
end.
there's nothing in format that really, I think, is affected. Like, you know, like Wishy-Washy is not in format. The Hex isn't in format. The only thing I think it really, I mean, maybe like Frostlass, maybe,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And like, even then, like, we're struggling just to find stuff, you know?
Yeah. So like I'm not disagreeing with you, but I get why your opponent's turn doesn't start
Yeah.
until they draw the card, because you have to resolve all effects on the field and then check for prizes.
I think it just
So
sucks,
like
right? Like, I think for this
it's
rule
so stupid.
specifically, there should be an adjustment.
I 100% agree. I definitely could not agree more.
Which maybe that's what we're getting. Maybe there is some clarification for, like, you know, like if you're a judge, you can allow that to happen. You know what I mean? I don't think there will be, but I think it would be nice. I think the other big thing is the first deck search of the game. I know normally in the rules it's 10 to 15 seconds per action. I would love to see deck search be somewhere in the 30 to 40 range, if not smaller, if not like a cap of 30. I think there's just too many players, especially at regionals, who are just like, we're taking 3 minutes to deck search, and that's just like, that's insane to me. Like,
It is
I
just
get
like
the number one like annoying thing I see is like the people with the notepad, and they'll, like, you know, they'll flip over the notepad, they'll flip notepad back over, like flip over 3 pages, write down some stuff, flip back the 3 pages, then flip it, then keep deck searching. I was like, brother, come on, we need to, like, if you can't like just kind of like remember this or like make a few notes, you know, we need to not have the notepad. Like, this isn't class, you know. There's no lecture on neurophysics right now. You know, we're playing the Pokemon trading card game.
my big issue really just comes in with deck sorting. I think
that is so annoying.
I just think TPCI needs to put that in their rules, that there cannot be deck reorganizing while you're deck searching.
Yeah.
That just like in Japan, that is DQable.
Yeah, and like I know,
And
like
that,
the best of 1 versus best of 3 debate is always happening. I don't think that's something we'll ever see. Honestly, I think we're always going to have best of 3, and I'm just very, very, very much a pragmatist on like this issue, because it is unlikely we ever get a major change from TPCI. So I would much prefer ties or double game losses or double round losses. Like, I would much rather see that, or like an alternate win con, like prize advantage will win you game 3.
yeah,
which like is a thing in other card games. So like,
I mean,
the precedent is there.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the deck sorting. It feels like cheating in a way, because then, you know, like as you're shuffling, like,
and then you have to shuffle
cards are
more.
going.
Yeah, and then like to randomize it, we have to shuffle 3 times as much. And then if I see that, I'm shuffling your deck.
Like, oh yeah,
I don't care if you shuffle for 10 minutes. Yeah, honestly, you should be allowed to riffle, because I feel like there are always people with like max rarity.
Yeah, I will riffle.
I'm gonna hard riffle, and we're bending corners.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like you start doing
I'm gonna turn
shit like that.
I'm gonna turn your gold ultra balls into the letter L.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't feel bad for this. Like, I will riffle your deck if you sort your deck in front of me.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I had a guy do it in Baltimore like a year and a half ago. on Lugia, and he like pulled out like all 15 energies, and I was like, brother, just check for the pink one. Like, it's Raging Bolt versus Lugia, man. Like, there just ain't that much to do here. Like, check for the pink one. That's the only one that matters. Like,
Yeah.
You play 4 double turbos, brother. Like, you're gonna have enough.
I promise you, it's gonna be one of those. It's like one of those things. Like, it will instantly rage me, and we will not have a fun game. I will make this uncomfortable for both of us. I have no problem doing that.
Yeah, it's just it's so annoying to me. I just don't like it. I really hate it. But hopefully we get some new changes from Pokemon. Hopefully they're good changes. I hope so. I think that would be that'd be good. I think Pokemon overall does a pretty good job with a lot of things. And I just hope that we get I just want to make things better. I just always want I think my thought whenever like I like criticize, Gaming Gen, TPCI, whoever, I'm always thinking like, does this make things better or worse for the players? And that is like always my like focus is like I believe Pokemon as a community, as a game, as an IP, as all these things, everyone can enjoy in some form or fashion. So like we should be doing everything we can to make that easier to do, not more difficult to do. So like if we're not letting that happen, there's a problem, and that to me is something we should be calling out.
Yeah, and I just think again, like, not to sort of beat this over the head, but like some of these rule changes just have to happen. Like, we need to have limits on turn 1 deck searches. We need to have rules on deck sorting, right? Like, as a judge myself, if I see it, now my eyes are glued to what your game is, and I'm kind of upset by it. Like, I'm really annoyed now that I have to watch your game.
Yeah, I think also like judges at regionals, if you're a main event judge, you need to be calling out slow play. Like, I'm sorry, but like we just need to do a better job of being like, hey man, I need like player 1 to make an action. You know, like there's just because I think also like if judges are calling out players and like saying I need you to make an action, then that speeds up everyone around their internal clock, and like it just increases pace of play for everyone around that. So if we're all doing that, and I'm not saying like manufacture like pace of play warnings, but like they're there. Like if you look, you're gonna find it. Like if I go in my kitchen, open a drawer, I'm gonna find a fork. Like I don't have to pretend there's not forks in the kitchen. Like
always forks in the kitchen.
Always forks in the kitchen. So that's just like my my thought on that, I guess, in general. We do also have kind of coming up, we have the looming rotation of the standard format happening in pretty much 3 months. That'll probably happen, I think like April 10th or something is the date most people are looking at.
I believe that to be correct.
Yeah, because we'll get Perfect Order on March 27th. And then 2 weeks from that is the 10th for the league, the tournament legality date for Perfect Order. So that'll be really, I think I'm more concerned with this rotation than last rotation.
This rotation is going to be super sick.
Because there's just so many decks. I think last rotation, it was a lot of stuff. A lot of things left, but not a lot of decks left. Like we still had we still had
there's like only 2 V decks that were relevant. You know what I mean?
Like Drago was kind of dead at that point with Badu. Like the big decks, I feel like back in April were like Bolt, Pult, Guardy, and those decks pretty much. Lugia, yeah. But like, you know what I mean? Like decks that like were good past rotation that have also been very good the entire year following. Yeah, I think even with like the refinement Curly rotating, like I think we all knew like Guardy's going to adapt. Like it probably won't be good immediately. And it was like that was like the beginning of Guardy's insane run of like 75 major wins in a row.
Yeah, we just kept printing more good broken purple cards. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, but like, Guardy was still good. Pult has been very good. Bolt has been very good until like Mega Evolutions. Dango was relevant. Then it's gotten way more relevant with ESP and then Togekiss and now the Lunatone Soul Rock engine. There's just been, but this rotation, it hits hard. I mean, we lose Charizard, we lose Gardevoir, we lose Goldango, we lose Sada, which loses Raging Bolt. I do not want anyone to tell me Raging Bolt's not dead. Like, it's dead. As a Raging Bolt, as someone who played Raging Bolt for 18 months, it's not good. Like, we were at Locals on Monday, and people were like, I was like looking at, someone told me to look up like the Bolt lists recently, and just like for like, I think just like wanting my thoughts on it as like a longtime Bolt player. And I saw Sandy Shock EX in like every list, and I immediately just like crashed out. I was like, this is not good. Like, this deck's just play Dango. Like, if you want to play a Terra deck, play Terra Box, play Charizard. If you want to play a Turbo deck, just play Dango. Like, they're just objectively better than whatever this smashed together pile is. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. But we lose a lot of stuff. We lose Pidgeot EX. We lose Arvin. There was a graphic I saw of like, someone made a graphic of like all the stuff leaving, and it was a lot. Like, it was just kind of crazy.
I actually really like the image that Pokemon Japan put out of like
that's what I'm trying to find it. Yeah.
I actually meant to put that in like one of our Discords, because like I found literally every single card. I spent my entire like lunch break just looking at the graphic, writing down all the cards that were associated to it. I was gonna see if anybody else could get as many as I did.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's just so many. Like, there's so much stuff. Like in that to just like
all like the early like future stuff. So like the hands, what was it? Hands, the Iron Valiants, that is all gone. Reversal's gone. Luminous gone. Jet Energy, Klefki. Like, there's just a ton of stuff that like you're not even really thinking about right now. Like, we literally have no special energy going forward. It's literally just like that rock fighting energy that's coming out in perfect order, and like therapeutic.
Yeah, which is so mid. Like, it's just not good. There's just like not many decks that can utilize that. Like, there's not many tank and heal decks where like Jumbo Ice Cream is just not better. Like, if like the only kind of tank and heal decks are probably like the Kangaskhan Bouffalon thing, and like all the attackers in that deck require 3 energy. So like, you're better off just using the ice creams.
And I think we lose Mist energy too.
Penny, Turo. Yeah, I believe Mist is gone as well. There's just like a lot. This one, honestly, I think this rotation concerns me a lot more than last year also, because like we lose both like all the turbo decks that have been very like all the best turbo decks of the last like year. I don't count Joltik Box because that deck sucks. I'll die on this hill. I think Joltik Box is actually just so bad. I think I really hate one trick pony decks that just have like no like, even like old like Pokestop Bolt, you could still attack with like the Ogre Ponds. Like, you had alternate attackers, whereas like Joltik Box, Cerule Edge, like if you're able to put a wall in front of their attacker, they just lose on the spot.
Yeah, one Crustle.
Yeah, like you just put like against like you put one Crustle in front of a Cerule Edge or a Joltik Box, and they literally fall apart on the spot. Like, it's actually insane. Like, it's it's mind blowing, and I hate that. I'm fine with not having a good matchup into those decks, but I'm not fine having a unwinnable matchup into those decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this rotation, it's gonna be rough. Like it's definitely something that is going to be very impactful, and I'm kind of curious because we'll get the rest of Perfect Order in about 2-ish weeks. So I'm kind of like, I'm more so just like very curious. What are we getting out of those sets? Like, what's gonna be Turbo next format? Like, are we gonna be using like, are we gonna be forced to use like Cerule Edge? Because like right now, that kind of looks like the best turbo deck. I know Lucario also looks pretty good. I just
Arvin.
Yeah.
Losing
You lose
for...
Arvin, which is kind of rough. But you still have Petrol. So like it feels like we have Arvin at home. Like definitely not as good. But also like what tools does that deck really use on like a consistent basis outside of like Air Balloon? I can't really think of it.
Air Balloon. No, but like going to get your like PPP when you need it, and like getting like set up stuff like Buddy Buddies. It's always good.
Yeah, which I think is why like I think Petrol will be pretty good for that deck. I mean, like if you're a deck that can survive, that doesn't really need like you're playing it more for the item than the tool, and you're fine with just not getting the tool. I think Petrol is still really good, and it still does have like the really good draw engine.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I don't think that you're really losing a whole heck of a lot with rotation if you're Lucario pilled. I think you're chilling. The Arvins just become other supporter. It could literally be anything.
We lose Artisan.
I don't even think you need pet. Well, we get Lumio City.
Is that
does the same thing but way worse?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't think that card's good. I genuinely don't think that card's gonna be played. Like I think we're just we're just in like we're in copium phase right now before we see what we're actually working with. I think once we see what we're working with, I think then people will really start like cooking the format and like start like, because then you know what you're gonna have, so you can start printing your proxies, you can start your testing. You know, especially
goes too, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, you do have Night Stretcher, which is like kind of rough. There's also we lose Lana's, right? Yeah, that's like Scarlet and Violet base.
No, Lana's is SSP.
Oh no, it was Twilight.
Oh, was it Twilight? Okay.
Yeah, it's Twilight. So that stays. So there's like, you know, again, we have Super Rod at home.
Yeah.
It's also worse because you can't grab rule boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe we're finally in for the mythic slower post rotation format. I don't believe it.
I don't know.
We say this every year.
Maybe Mega Charizard's good. Who knows? Maybe there's some grass nonsense that's good.
Yeah, grass could be good. I mean, who knows? Like, there's like the new Mega Meganium coming out. Like, there's just so many who knows with this, which I think is kind of what makes post rotation so exciting for a lot of people, because it's just like a chance to like have a fresh format. I think we're just due. We're due for like a big sweeping move the crap out. Like,
yeah.
I mean, how many formats in a row have we been talking about? Like Goldango, Dragapult, Gardevoir, and Charizard. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
All of them.
One of those 4 decks. I've been back playing Pokemon for over 2 years. Actually, pretty much 2 years. One of those 4 decks has always been the best deck in the format for 2 years. Like, it is time. Like, y'all have had your time. It is time to step aside and just let someone, you know, it's time to retire Jordan. You know, there's this kid in Akron. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, the problem is like we still keep Pult, which is really annoying. It loses some really good resources.
It does
but for the
lose
most part, it
Luminous,
remains.
so I think it will have a lot more of a struggle maintaining Monkey Dory, which I don't think is that impactful for most matchups. I think the Monkey Dory is really just like really good.
Mirror.
It loses Halucha too, which I think
Yeah.
is actually really impactful for them not being able to like pretty much hit 70 for free.
Yeah.
I think that's actually probably the most impactful loss. They still have Ursaluna. They'll still have Neo Upper. They'll still have Tower. Nest Ball just becomes Pokepad. They do lose Counter Catcher. I don't think that's been reprinted.
Nope.
So that'll be, you know, maybe it gets a little slower as well, just without having the ability to just like constantly gust from after like turn 2.
I mean, they also probably just go in with like rare candies now.
Yeah, it probably just gets faster, which I think is why like you won't see a slower format. It's just like a different format, and like I think people will just like try and turbo everything at first, and then it slows down as the formats develop.
Yeah.
I think that's
Also,
generally
sorry if
how
you
things
can hear
happen.
my dog's going nuts.
No,
There's
you're good.
a delivery guy at our front door.
I do not hear the delivery guy.
Mm.
Tell him to subscribe. That Amazon guy?
Hey,
Needs-
UPS guy.
Yeah, I think rotation's gonna be really interesting this year. We'll have to see. I know it's like a turbo player. I'm like very concerned just because like I don't know what I'm playing. I was actually joking at locals last night that I'm quitting the game because people were like, "What are you gonna play?" I was like, "I don't know." They're like, "Are you gonna quit?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not playing Pokemon anymore. Bolt and Dango are gone. I don't even own any other Pokemon cards.
There's no other 60 card option.
There's
that
no
makes
other
more sense
60
to
I
you.
know of. I don't know what's even worth living."
It's not.
Yeah, but last thing I want to talk about a little bit was just kind of our thoughts on because Toronto is about a week away. Next week we're going to do a more in-depth tier list, but I just kind of want to talk a little bit about what we think for like what we're kind of expecting to be like the best decks. I think honestly one of the plays that I think will be secretly really good is the Kangaskhan and Bouffalant like Crustle deck. I think if people don't respect it, which I think most people right now aren't respecting it, Crustle kind of wins a lot of matchups. Like it can win you Dango if they're not able to really power up the bunny quickly. It beats Dragapult. It beats Charizard. Your really only loss is kind of Gardevoir, which like I feel like a lot of decks constantly are just saying to themselves, "I'm fine with losing to Gardevoir because I'll beat everything else."
I don't know if Gardevoir is inherently bad now that they are not playing. There's no balloons or anything. There's no like big way to swing the matchup with Kangaskhan. So I think in that matchup you just become King of Boof.
I think so too. Yeah, I think you just like you make yourself as thick as humanly possible with like Lively Stadium, Bravery Charms, Bouffalants,
You just keep healing everything
pennies.
off with
Yeah, you have ice
stupid-
creams, and even if they try to
Yeah.
like do like the item lock, you still have Penny to like kind
Yeah.
of move things that they strand.
Yeah, you're still picking things up.
Yeah, because I think they'll probably try and like strand Bouffalants, and then if we're able to just like keep moving things, like that just makes it so much better. And I think it also plays Palpad as well. So like late game when they finally are done item locking you, you're fine. And like even like Stuttgart,
Yeah.
which I think was this format.
It
So I think that was the most recent regional. Guardy was only 11-12%. It was
Yeah,
like
and
7 and
Europeans
5.
typically
Yeah, and I think
don't typically.
I think they usually play Gardevoir more than most people.
Nah, there's that big American team that does. You have like the Bradners and all them.
When did Phantasmal come out? Was that the end of November?
Phantasmal, yeah, in November.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so there's not like any data either, which is so annoying. It's like who knows? Like who knows what we'll see. But I think you're fine like just having the bad Guardy matchup. Like it's not unwinnable. You're just not favored. So I think that deck is really strong. I think pretty much, everything else you're expecting will be good. Like Terrazard will be good. There'll be a lot of Goldango. There'll be a lot of Dragapult, a lot of Guardy. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to add on decks. You're kind of
No, I think we'll just make a tier list next week,
I
and
think that'll
that's where
just
I'll have all my real thoughts.
Wow, I get it. You're gatekeeping your love of Cerula GX for next week on the podcast.
It's so broken right now.
I get it. It's actually broken. Everyone's playing it. It's so good. But I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. And we will see y'all next week for another episode of the PokeStop Podcast. Peace out, y'all.
Later.